Hi everyone, this is Dr. Katherine Kelly, and number one, Happy New Year. I hope you have all made it through the first week of 2018. I know for me that, I get really relaxed over the holidays, and then I go back to work and get kind of back in the hustle and bustle, and then, you feel very discombobulated and wiped out. So I haven't done a lot to put more on Facebook for a while because of that. And also, as many of you may know, I have a new puppy, which has taken up some time as well. But today I want to talk a little bit about the fact that the more we get in touch with our souls, the less attached we are to the human condition. Now, what do I mean by that? When it comes to consciousness and conscious evolution, the whole idea of us moving forward is that we have to become super conscious of what's going on in our lives, what we're experiencing, what we're feeling, how we're reacting to things, watching what's going on outside of us so that we can kind of put two and two together for why we are experiencing what we are experiencing. And so I had this conversation with a client yesterday who I did a soul realignment session with her right before the holidays. And we were talking about the fact that, she left after the second part of the session very kind of dizzy and, but very much in touch with herself and much more aware of how everything fits together between the human condition that she's experienced and the soul condition, which is basically something that she knows of herself, but it was helpful for her to do the session to put it all together. Now, the words that I used to her is that the dizziness probably came from the fact that as she becomes more conscious and aware, that there's a disconnection somewhat from the human condition. You can see the human condition differently, and you're not absorbed by it the way that we are when we don't really get in contact with our souls to see why we are experiencing things. So the whole idea of conscious evolution is to get more and more in touch with our souls, which is what my soul health model is all about, is getting really to know ourselves within every branch of the human condition so we can observe how we interact with each one of those branches, but then also to disconnect in a way so that we can grow and evolve beyond the stuff that doesn't work for us. So we've never been taught about evolution and personal evolution. And so that's why I keep really emphasizing this whole idea of conscious evolution and moving forward and how important our soul is in our day-to-day lives if we let it be. And so that's what this whole conscious evolution thing is about. But again, the more you get in touch with your soul, the less you are attached to the human condition. Now, what does that look like? What that means is, even in the most challenging of times, we can be in an observation mode rather than being absorbed by the situation. That doesn't mean we don't have emotions. That doesn't mean we don't have physical reactions. That doesn't mean we don't have all of that same stuff. What it does mean is that we are able to consciously pay attention to why we are having those reactions and understand it differently. So again, the more we get to know our souls, the less and less attached we are to the human condition in a way that we really don't need to be as absorbed. We get to move above it, we ascend much more quickly, and we just keep evolving beyond all of the old stuff. Now, many of my clients, when we talk from year to year, I talk about, I make sure that we emphasize how much they have changed from the last year and what would be different in their interactions now than they would be from a year ago or prior. And it's really wonderful to see that people's eyes sort of light up and go, wow, okay, I would be interacting differently. I would be doing this differently. I would be doing that differently. And they're so much more detached from the events that they experienced before because they don't need those memories in the same way in order to learn. Because once you go back and learn whatever you're supposed to learn from that particular event, trauma, experience, discomfort, whatever it might be, you extract the meaning, you assimilate it, and then basically you get to evolve because you know why you had to experience those things. I was talking to another client yesterday afternoon, and she's had a pretty tough life. It was a very challenging path that she has taken, and she kind of joked at the end that, boy, her soul was very ambitious, that there's so much that has happened in her life, and I have to admit, she's one of my clients that has had probably more than many of my other clients as far as traumas and abuses and things like that. But what I came to tell her was the whole idea that your soul knew that you had it in you to overcome everything that you overcame, because that was part of your contract. That was part of your evolution. That was part of you moving forward. And I asked her to really sit with that and absorb it. And I said it again, that her soul had faith in her that she was going to be able to overcome every single thing that she did, because otherwise she wouldn't have had those interactions, she wouldn't have had those abuses, she wouldn't have had those situations. And sure enough, this woman is very powerful, but she has forgotten that. And so what I need to do is help her detach from the human condition part of it, connect her with her soul so that she can live above the human condition. So I know that this is a language that a lot of people, that is new to a lot of people, but I really want you to step back and think about how you have overcome things and how you had to detach from them in order to overcome them. And so this is that whole concept of that, the more we get in touch with our souls, the more we embrace what our soul is trying to tell us and where we feel like we're supposed to be going, the less and less the human condition matters in terms of the emotion that we put into it. So I would love to hear your comments on this. I would love to hear where you've come from. Myself, I shared some stories with these folks yesterday, and I make it look easy in a lot of ways, but people are shocked that I've had some stuff happen in my life that has been very challenging, and most people wouldn't even expect to hear some of the stories of the things that I've dealt with too. But it's because I've been able to be very in touch with my soul, very able to rise above it and see whatever the event is as a learning experience and something I'm supposed to transcend. So I just want you to plant those seeds, because I think we get so mired in the human condition. I talk a lot about that with the book Soul Health, that we get so mired in our emotions and so mired in it that a lot of times we can't rise above it. But this is the whole point of our evolution, is to basically get above the human condition experiences and move beyond them. So more to come, and you're actually going to be hearing a lot more about my upcoming book about soul age too. I'm going to be putting a lot more information out there about that. My blog is going to become active again. There's going to be a lot more that is coming together as far as helping you understand and become in touch with your soul so you can rise above the human condition. Hope you have a wonderful day. Happy first ending of the week of 2018, and I'll be back soon. Bye-bye.